welcome to the presentation. The subject is Foundation Computing, presented by MD Sourav, registration number 2203070022. Course is Level 3 Foundation Diploma for Higher Education Studies. The topics we are going to discuss today are as follows: internal components of a central processing unit or CPU, functions of a CPU, how computer hardware components work together, different types of storage media, and explain the use of each with reference to the purpose. And there are also topics that are data representation in a computer system, how encryption can be used to represent data, how images and sound are represented in computer system, how compression can aid the storage of data, images or sound, the purpose of logic gates, the purpose of different types of computer network, hardware, software and transmission media used in computer networks, a range of worldwide web technologies, and the purpose of different types of computer network topology. First of all, we are going to look at internal components of a central processing unit, or we can call it as CPU. Control unit. First of all, the component that regulates, integrates and coordinates the data flow around the CPU is the control unit. Then there is the arithmetic logic unit, a digital circuit responsible for performing computational logical operation of the CPU. And there is also the register, a small quickly accessible memory which is small but extremely fast to store, accept and transfer data instructions. Then we are going to move on to the cache, which is also the components of the central processing unit, a volatile tiny hardware responsible to store frequently used computer data programs and data, reducing the cost of main memory, is the cache. Then internal buses. A internal data bus is responsible for system to connect and carry data throughout the computer, and there is a diagram provided for seeing the process, how it flows, how the data flows inside the CPU. Functions of a CPU. This is the next topic, and the contents are: fetch, instructions stored in a computer memory with address is fetch, and decode is the process by which the executable programs is converted into binary codes such as zeros and ones, as we know of. Execute, the process by which the different types of actions such as calculation, data movement from one memory location to another are executed and stored in the CPU register, is the execution process. Then store is where the system stores the data after execution, and there is also a diagram provided to show the process and how it flows. Okay, how computer hardware components work together. This is the third topic. And hardware component connected with the motherboard in a computer by cables apart from the GPU and main memory. When the instructions are given to a computer to perform a task, the instruction is received by the storage through the motherboard. Then the storage sends the required file or data back to the motherboard to process it while storing it in the RAM. After that, the processed data is sent to the graphics processing unit, or we can say it as GPU, to render or display the data on the display panel or on the monitor. After that, we are going to talk about our next topic, different types of storage media, and explain the use of each with reference to the purpose. First of all, RAM. Random access memory, or as we know of as RAM, is a volatile memory that is in charge of running the current programs without getting involved with the storage of the computer. Then hard disk, it is the storage device that is not a temporary memory. It stores data for future use. Optical device. The optical device is a portable storage technology to store data and information. The data information is stored in the disks by laser beams. USB flash drive. The drive is also known as pen drive. It is a small portable drive that can store fair amount of data. Data representation in computer system is the next topic, and computers have one language, ones and zeros, where 1 is represented as on with the color black and 0 is represented as off with the color white. There are two types of data representation, Unicode and ASCII code. Unicode. It is a way of representing and encoding digital data. Characters such as A, B, C, D have their own code and have width up to 32 bit. For ASCII code, it is also a way of representation and encoding data representation and encoding. ASCII code used numbers like 65, 66. Different numbers are assigned for uppercase, lowercase and symbols. It uses 7 bit to represent each character and encode 128 characters together. How encryption can be used to represent data is the next topic. It is a method of hiding the true meaning of any text or email or extremely secret data. The process involves turning the real meaning into a format that holds up no meaning, which is called encoding. Suppose the word fight can be represented by 1696 number. Then we are going to move on to our next point, how images and sounds are represented in computer system. Images. In an image, each pixel is a binary code. 0 goes for white, 1 goes for black. When combined together, an image is formed. Sound. It also uses the binary codes. The sound in its peak, it is denoted by 1. When there is no sound, it's 0. How compression can aid the storage of data and images or sounds is the next point. The compression converts big data into small. This aids the computer as the data is consuming less space in the storage. There are two types of compression, lossy and lossless. Then we are going to the next point, the purpose of logic gates. Logic gate is to do the complicated work or task given by the user. The gates takes the inputs in binary codes and outputs based on the work or task. A diagram where gates uses multiplication to give a result is shown below. Then we come to the logic gates. In this diagram, gate takes two inputs and uses addition to give a result. Then we move on to the next part. The purpose of different types of computer network, LAN, or we can say it as local area network, a computer network that allows connection to other computers within a limited area to share data, files and more. When wide area network, a network that connects computer on a long range through wired and wireless connections. Peer-to-peer, a network where two or more computers are connected without a separate server to share data and resource between them. Client server, it is where users, or we can say clients, are connected to a server to access the available data and resources. This server can also store information for clients. Hardware, software and transmission media used in computer network. Hardware, switch, a networking device that facilitates by sharing resources to the devices. Switch also performs checks and examines the destination address when data arrives. Hub, used to connect multiple devices together. This sends data and resources to every connected device. Then we move on to bridge connects different network or components together in single network. Router connects any computer or device for the purpose of getting access to the data and send and received from one network to another. Network software, a range of software that facilitates implementation of design, monitoring and operation of a computer network. A diagram is provided to know how it is processed. And then we have transmission media. It is communication medium by which data and information is being transferred by electromagnetic signal. There are two types: guided transmission media, wire, cable, etc. Unguided transmission media, wireless through waves, radio waves, microwaves and infrared. A range of web technologies. The web technologies are HTML, HTTP, URL. HTML or hypertext markup language is used to design documents that are displayed in the web browser. HTTP, it stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is used to exchange the data and resources in a web. HTTP also edits and removes data in a web with some specific methods: get, post, patch, delete. A range of web technologies. URL, Uniform Resources Locator. URL is simply the address on any given source in the web. It consists of a domain name, protocol, path and web name. Example: HTTPS, and the link is given like for Facebook and Google. Then we have the purpose of different types of computer network topology. Network topology is the geometric structure of representation of how computers are connected in a network for better performance. There are 6 types of network topology: mesh, star, bus, ring, tree and hybrid. Types of network topology: mesh, the network where each element is interconnected with one another without hub and switch or computer but acts as a center point of communication is known as mesh topology. Star, the setup of network which resembles the shape of a star with device in the center for better connection. Types of network topologies. Bus, it is a topology of network which is created when each element is connected to a physical cable as backbone of the network. The cable depends on the type of computer. Ring, the topology where each computers are connected with each other in a circular shape without any central computer in the middle, making it like a ring structure. And the topologies diagrams are provided for better knowledge. Tree topology, it is the topology where star topology and bus topology come together to give it a branch like trees, branch like of a tree, and there is a natural, a parent and a child hitchery in the tree topology. Types of network: hybrid, a topology which is mixture of all topologies such as ring, bus, tree, star, mesh is known as hybrid topology. Most common hybrid topology is star ring hybrid topology and star bus hybrid